Why didn't my mic pick up automatically? What's up, everybody? I'm just testing some stuff. Testing some stuff out here. Tomorrow, I'm going to do a podcast, everybody. A podcast. So, got sort of a new setup here. And come on, why aren't you moving? If you want to keep me company while I'm testing some stuff out, want to see who I could catch here live. Why is this doing this? Oh, here we go. Just some behind the curtain stuff. Haven't used this thing in a while, this little AJ microphone logo. Somebody created this for me. Thought it was kind of cool. Let me back this camera up. Doop, 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 doop. Here we go. All right. Getting ready to do a podcast tomorrow. So while I'm testing, I'll let you know that tomorrow, I'll probably delete this after I do it. I'm just coming on here raw. I'm unshaven and all this kind of stuff. I was going to do the podcast today, and I did something that I knew I shouldn't have done, but I thought I'd get by with it. Now this may sound funny, but I went and got a Popeye's chicken sandwich, and I had this thought that after I get this Popeye sandwich, I don't think I'm going to feel like doing a podcast. And I was exactly right. I have to be in a certain kind of headspace. Why am I bending down to this mic? The mic should be coming up to where I want to be. I don't want to adjust to it. It should be adjusting to me. Will it stay up here if I tighten it? So I got a new arm here for the desk. So I don't want to be bending down. I can point this mic up like that. But I should be able to. This mic is top heavy. I need to figure out how I can get this. Wait a minute. How about that? Okay. Yeah, let's do that. This is the purpose of a test. Nobody's on, which is probably a good thing. Move it a little closer. All right. Also, just testing. It's a different mic. Typically, I use an overhead, but this time I'm going to use this one. I like it because the little LED indicator go across. I think it's kind of cool. Some people hide it, and this arm will allow me to hide it if I wanted to, but I just, for podcast purposes, I just like the mic right up here on my face. Makes me feel like a DJ or something. No, a real podcaster, I should say. A radio guy, maybe. I don't know. But so I'm going to go back and listen to this And so I'm going to prep some of my scriptures. So after eating the Popeye sandwich, I did not feel like podcasting. It just something about that podcast, something about that sandwich makes me kind of sleepy. Even though I didn't go to sleep, I thought I would just do some setup work, setting up this new mic arm, getting everything ready for the podcast so I can go be up and running. And right now I want to put my scriptures in so that way when I do the podcast, I will be all set. Just sit down, lights, camera, action, right? Turn the lights on. And also got a setup with different cameras. I've got the new iPhone 15. That gives me another camera angle. I got a cable connected to it, so it's the cable is tilting the balance now. It's kind of, it's all right though. And then I got another camera up over that. I probably should shift that one and bring it over on the other side of the room. That's camera B. But no, that's cool. It just gives me a different, like a top angle. I'm not mad about this chair. So uncomfortable as heck. But once I get to teaching, I don't think about it. So scriptures popping in. Need to adjust these. Gonna start with this one, maybe. What? No, I don't want that. This is a process that I do every Sunday. And whenever I am using scriptures, this is my look and feel. On the confessions, I do something else though. Wait, am I really live? Yep, I am. I'm live on YouTube. Just got to notice somebody's at church. I think that's Shemaine. Camera is indicating some movement. Okay. That didn't get all the scriptures, so I got to go in. I'm just testing some stuff here. Getting my scriptures ready. What? Okay. Oh, here we go. Change the font so the whole scripture can get in there. I'm going to use this scripture. I'm getting ready for the podcast tomorrow. I'm going to be talking about enemies of faith, one of my favorite. This may be my most favorite topic. Okay, wait a minute. Let me change this. Why is this, my audio tone keep changing to natural dark? Because I have typically sort of high-pitched voice. This kind of darkens me up. Not my complexion, but my my voice, right? If you're just joining, I'm doing a test. I'm going to be doing a podcast tomorrow. I didn't feel like doing it. As I explained earlier, I planned to do it today, and we just happened to be, my wife and I, after playing pickleball, I just happened to be over by the, well, never mind. Whoever logged on logged off, so apparently they weren't interested in what I had to say, or maybe they were just passing through, figured I was fooling around, and decided to bounce. But that's cool, because this is just a test. I'm going to be talking about lack of knowledge of the word of Christ being the enemy number one. Okay, that's First Timothy, first scripture, First Timothy. This is subject to change, but First Timothy 6:12 is the first scripture. And what else? Faith. Faith is resting in the finished work of Jesus. So that's one definition of faith. I like that. Then we're going to look at what's next. Hosea 4:6. First part of that is my people are destroyed. God's people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. I will explain that. So when I'm prepping scripture, this is just some behind the scenes stuff. I may delete this, I may not. Sometimes people are interested in behind the scene types of stuff. And that's what this is. This is how we do it. This is how I prep. What's the next scripture? There are people who doubt that the Bible is real. I'm going to be addressing that. I may get into the facts about whether or not the Bible was written by a white man, or the Bible was something that was invented by the white man to and forced on black people to keep them in bondage, keep them in slavery, keep them enslaved. That's a myth. I may get into that. I say may because I have plans, but then the Lord may not want me to talk about that. So it's whatever comes out when I'm ministering. So these are scriptures from another day. So what I'm doing now is I am prepping scriptures. If you're joining me, if you're just passing by, I don't know if you want to stay or not, because you want to keep me company, say hi in the comments. That's cool. I'm just prepping, doing my scripture prepping for tomorrow's podcast. I decided to do a podcast tomorrow. And somebody jumped on the stream and they left. I can't say I blame you. This is just boring stuff. Prepping for my podcast. But while I'm here, I got a podcast tomorrow. Come in. And you are invited, right? Bum, ba-dum, bum, ba. Also, while I'm prepping for these scriptures, what I'm also doing is making sure my audio is on point, because I got a new mic set up. Not a new microphone, but a microphone that have not been my default mic or my preferred mic, but now I brought it front and center. I have moved this mic to the number one position based on some stuff that I learned at Creator Camp on last week. So I think I'll keep you on. I'm gonna stay on here and see maybe if somebody want to come and keep me company. If not, that's okay. I'm just doing some behind the scene things. If you just join me, I'm doing a podcast tomorrow, so join me at some point tomorrow. I'm not sure what time I'm going to be on. Let's see. So I'm getting some scriptures ready to go. I will probably prepare more scriptures than what I will actually get to. So I'm going to be teaching tomorrow. I'm starting a series on my podcast on enemies of faith, a subject that is very dear to my heart because that's the message that turned me on to the word of faith, and I'll be talking about that on tomorrow. New podcast tomorrow. Okay. Anybody want to keep me company? I get strength when people come on, when Summit Nation come on, and even though I'm not teaching right now, just prepping, getting my mic ready, getting everything ready for tomorrow. And I explained earlier when nobody was on that the reason why I didn't do the podcast today, I never told anybody or announced that I was doing a podcast, but I planned to do it. But I got into trouble when Carl and I was playing pickleball, and we were close to a Popeyes. And I didn't really want that Popeye sandwich right then because I knew, or I thought, and I thought right, that If I eat that Popeye sandwich, I probably was going to get sleepy or drowsy or lethargic and not really want to do the podcast. Because I need to be in a certain headspace when I'm getting ready to go live, uh, particularly with a podcast. And so, and sure enough, I got that spicy chicken sandwich. And I did not feel like doing a podcast. I just wasn't, I didn't have the energy to do it. It just made me want to go to sleep. I didn't go to sleep. So I just figured, let me just do some boring work, like, but necessary work, stuff I would need to get set up for my podcast. It worked out because really I needed to test this microphone, make sure it sounds right. I got a new desk arm for the mic, low profile type of an arm. So yeah. So that's what's up. Okay. But I'm about to bounce. New podcast tomorrow, everybody. What else do I want to put in this lineup here? Wait. Mm. Okay, I think I'm going to go. All right, everybody. That's enough. Good night. Bye bye.